tell Nigerians you're heading out on a trip, their first response is often to turn you into their personal courier. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 1. Here's something you can almost never escape about being Nigerian. Mention you are traveling and suddenly you are running errands, carrying items for family or friends. My trip was no exception, but I made it work. With my suitcase packed, I headed to the airport. I booked with Air Canada, so I was a bit anxious about strike threats from pilots over low pay. Thankfully, everything went smoothly. No delays, no cancellations. I checked in, boarded, and just like that, I was off. Share your top recommendations for activities I shouldn't miss. Day 1 is officially done. See you on day 2. Guess who is in London after 5 whole years? Come along with me to the UK. This is day 2. After 7+ hours of cramped seats and airplane food, I finally landed in London. It's been 5 years, but the city still feels as lively as ever. Navigating the tube was a trip down memory lane. My biggest flex for the day is that I made it home without getting lost. Later on, I checked out an event at the O2 recommended by a friend. There was music, food, and several vendors, but I didn't stay too long. I did some window shopping at the outlet mall. By the time I was done, I was starving and excited to get Nando's, but can you see that line? I ended up grabbing pizza and salad instead, and it hit the spot. After all that activity, the jet lag kicked in, so I headed home to rest. What's your go-to trick for beating jet lag when traveling? Day 2 is officially done. See you on day 3. I finally met an online friend in person for the first time, and it was such a vibe. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 3. Today is special because I'm meeting a friend for the very first time in person. Debbie and I have been friends for about 2 years, though I don't really remember when or how we first became friends. She invited me to a brunch with her friends today. We were supposed to meet at an Afro-Caribbean restaurant in Luton, but our reservation got messed up, so we had to find a new place. Luckily, we found another restaurant nearby with a beautiful interior, so it all worked out. I didn't order any food because I already had a big snack earlier, but I tried some of their fried rice and it was so good. Debbie's friends were a vibe. You'll never guess we're just meeting for the first time. After a lot of food, laughs, and good conversation, we all had to head out. Have you ever formed a connection with someone online before meeting them in person? How did it go? Day 3 is officially done. See you on day 4. When I go shopping, I want to be overwhelmed by the sheer number of amazing choices to the point where I can't decide. Sadly, the UK hasn't lived up to this expectation yet. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 4. Today was all about shopping and checking off bucket list items. I visited Oxford Street, famous for its massive stores and ending shopping options. I got a few items at TK Maxx and then went to House of CB for a party dress. My hot take is that House of CB's dresses are designed for people who love to show off cleavage, which isn't my style. I hadn't eaten all day, so I needed to grab a meal. For those of you who know me, you'll know I prefer not to experiment when I'm hungry, so I went to McDonald's. The best part of my day was visiting a jazz club with a friend. Great music, good drinks, and an unforgettable vibe. We ended the night with some pastries because why not? Is visiting a jazz club on your bucket list or not your vibe? Day 4 is officially done. See you on day 5. I spent the day at the London office and I got a not so British welcome. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 5. Today, I challenged myself to connect with at least 5 people at the London office. Knowing my introverted nature, I didn't want to end up keeping to myself. I'd heard all the buzz about this office. It is rumored to be the best, complete with its own barista. Naturally, I couldn't wait to check it out. Brits aren't exactly known for being overly warm, so I was shocked when I got such a friendly welcome from my colleague. Definitely didn't see that coming. I easily hit my goal. I met 2 people I already knew virtually, and the rest came to me because I was a new face around. Unfortunately, I missed the barista hours, but the office decor totally made up for it. Thoughtful touches everywhere, like our company logo, which is made from Lego pieces. After work, I went to Primark to get a few loungewear. I didn't try them on and only realized the sizes were a little off when I got home. Bummer. What's the coolest office perk you've ever had? Day 5 is officially done. See you on day 6. Converting Canadian dollars to pounds will humble you. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 6. I was feeling pretty confident, swiping my credit card up and down until I checked the exchange rate from card to bounce. And to make matters worse, each payment came with an international transaction fee. I really wish that I had signed up for an international card that has no fees before this trip. It's not even the end of the first week and my spending is already climbing faster than expected. So my goal today is to keep things low-key and work from home. I kicked off the day with breakfast, set up my workspace, and powered through a couple of meetings. After that, I wrapped things up and called it a day. To my fellow travelers, how do you avoid international payment fees? I'd love to hear your tips. Day 6 is officially done. See you on day 7. London's food scene is so diverse and today I got to explore it. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 7. Like day 5, I worked from the office. I'm working with my team's core hours, so I arrived around lunchtime. My colleague and I went to Lamb Street for food. I was surprised to see a Nigerian food truck. Then again, it's London, which some say is the 37th state of Nigeria. We got lunch from an Indian food truck. Option 3 came highly recommended, so I went with it for £9. Back at the office, I had a couple of meetings. I led the brainstorming session and joined the planning for our design Christmas party. After work, I stopped by Primark for an exchange and tried a puffer jacket but didn't end up buying it. There was this intriguing digital art installation. I stopped to take a look and after that I headed back home. How adventurous are you with your workday lunch choices? Day 7 is officially done. See you on day 8. Ever had a day that didn't go as planned but ended up being exactly what you needed? Come along with me to the UK. This is day 8. Honestly, I didn't realize how tired I was until I slept in and didn't wake up until 11 a.m. I tried to pull something together, but nothing worked out. So I made some tea, slowed down, and felt this nudge to just be still. I spent time in Psalms 23, a chapter I have read so many times, but today it really hit differently. It was a beautiful reminder to stay connected with God even when life feels chaotic. How do you find quiet moments with God when life gets busy? Day 8 is officially done. See you on day 9. It should be illegal to use my name and bowling in the same sentence because I'm terrible at it. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 9. When my Nigerian colleagues wanted to go bowling, my first thought was, count me out. But I didn't want to be a party pooper, so I said yes. I was running late, but I had to capture my globe because why not? When I finally arrived, I ordered food because I was starving. My first few turns were a disaster, so I blamed the hunger. But even after eating, I still couldn't hit any pins. Last, I was the winner. If you know, you know. After bowling, they headed to Luton for Nigerian food, but I had other plans. On my way out, I realized I had forgotten my vlogging camera. Luckily, it was still where I left it. I did some shopping and later on caught a coach to my next destination. Can you guess where I'm going next? Day 9 is officially done. See you on day 10. When my friend promised to spoil me silly during my visit, I was like, count me in. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 10. After a fun day with my colleagues, I hopped on a coach to Stoke-on-Trent. About 5 hours and 25 minutes after setting out, I finally made it to Stoke. It was freezing, so I grabbed an Uber and sneaked into the house and went straight to bed. I ended up sleeping until 3 p.m., totally wrecking my friend's plan to show me around. But honestly, all I wanted was to stay in and relax. After unpacking some Canadian goodies I brought for her, we decided to make lunch together. While waiting for the food to cook, her husband gave me a quick drone flying lesson. The weather wasn't ideal, so we had to cut the lesson short. But just in time, the food was ready. What's the best pampering you've ever gotten from a friend? Day 10 is officially done. See you on day 11. I returned to Birmingham after years away and it felt like walking through memories. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 11. Today I set out from Stoke-on-Trent to Birmingham. I actually went to school in Birmingham years ago, so I was pretty excited to return after all this time. A good friend I met back during NYC picked me up from the train station and we headed to his place. After catching up and doing some work, we went for a stroll around the scenic reservoir. One of the highlights of the day was visiting Boom Battle Bar for some games and drinks. I had a blast playing axe throwing and shuffleboard. Later, I walked around the city center and it was so nostalgic. It brought back many memories. As I reflected on the day, I realized how much has changed since I last lived here. And yet, in some ways, it all still feels the same. Have you ever gone back to a place after years away? How did it feel? Day 11 is officially done. See you on day 12. Your gifts can open doors to unexpected opportunities. Today, my content creation brought me to my first ever event coverage. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 12. I started the day working from home, brainstorming for our yearly plan. Then I had to head out for an event I was covering for my friend. I also had a couple of meetings lined up, but of course, things didn't go as planned. First off, my Uber took me to the wrong location, and to make things worse, it was raining. I was completely drenched by the time I rushed into a coffee shop for my first meeting. Thankfully, my friend picked me up and got me to the event venue. Once I was there, I got to work covering the Black History Month celebration. There was a gospel choir, which took me back to my choir days, and was such a full circle moment. Has your gift ever led you to something totally unexpected? How did that feel? Day 12 is officially done. See you on day 13. The thing about vacations is figuring out how to juggle work and a social life without losing your mind. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 13. I had the toughest day today juggling work and social life. I started my day strong with some work, and after which my friend invited me out for lunch. This ended up being more of a late lunch or early dinner because of work. My sister's friend stopped by to pick up some goodies my sister had sent her, and we all went out together. TGIF was our first stop, but it was closed, so we found a cozy restaurant down the street. We ordered our food, bantered in between, and then my break was over. I had to run home for a meeting. This meeting went late, and thanks to time zones, I stayed up even later to lead my church group back in Canada. Long day, but super productive. How do you balance work and fun when life gets busy? Drop your tips. Day 13 is officially done. See you on day 14.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Let's start from the beginning. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 14. The day technically started last night with me pulling an all-nighter editing the Black History Month video. By 4 a.m., I was on my way to the coach station for a bus to Luton. My friend promised to pick me up but was delayed, so I grabbed breakfast at Starbucks and got lost in a good book while waiting. She finally showed up rocking a bomber jacket from my old fashion brand. Fun fact, I used to be a fashion designer before switching to digital product design. After a quick shopping trip, I did some adulting aka work, and later we rushed off to the airport for our flight to Scotland. A few hours later, we landed in Aberdeen, late but totally excited. Where's that one place you can't wait to visit? Day 14 is officially done. See you on day 15.
Up and grateful, Lord. Up and grateful, Lord.
Get in here. We are about to explore one of Scotland's most beautiful cities. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 15. We started the day in a rush, barely making our Flixbus to Edinburgh. A few hours later, we arrived and the adventure began. Our first stop was the Museum of Childhood. It was so cool to see how much toys have changed. Then, we were off on a walking tour. I loved all the history, but Jennifer and Ibitola, not so much. Too much walking for them. Afterwards, we made a quick stop at the National Museum of Scotland, did some window shopping, and tried Gordon Ramsay's burger. Review coming in another video. By the time we were heading home, I was totally knocked out on the bus. Do you have any must-visit spots for when you're in a new city? Day 15 is officially done. See you on day 16. Beautiful day to explore Aberdeen. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 16. The day started with a breakfast that hit the spot. Jennifer made eggplants and yam, exactly what I was craving. Later in the day, I rushed to catch my free walking tour of Aberdeen. Jennifer and Ibitola weren't up for more walking after yesterday, so I went solo. Our guide Scott was fantastic, weaving Aberdeen's rich history into everything we saw. We wandered the city for over 2 hours, soaking in the sights. We wrapped up at the beautiful Aberdeen Garden by Castlegate. After the tour, I met back up with the ladies for dinner. I had been craving Nando's extra spicy chicken wings, and although there was a 25 minutes wait, it was totally worth it. We ended the night with full bellies and good vibes. I'm super excited because tomorrow we're off to a day trip. Can you guess where we're headed next? Day 16 is officially done. See you on day 7. Today, we're off to the Scottish Highlands in search of Nessie, the Loch Ness monster. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 17. Our day started early and we were on track to catch our tour bus to Loch Ness. The drive through the Highlands was breathtaking. Jim, our guide, shared some amazing stories about Scotland's history. Our first stop was at Culloden. It was so much history, and if you're a fan of Outlander, you would love it. After exploring the battleground, we drove to Loch Ness, where we had lunch and hopped on a boat to hear all about the famous legend of Nessie. On our way back, we even got to pet some Highland cows. Definitely a highlight. Are you more of a city explorer or a nature adventurer? Day 17 is officially done. See you on day 18. I wasn't impressed with Oxford Street, but today, UK shopping redeemed itself. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 18. Today was all about commuting. I commuted to the airport in Aberdeen, flew back to England, made my way home, then headed out to the stores and back again. So much travel.
So that's our whole historical site. Edward the 100th.
Despite all the commuting, the shopping really stood out. With my trip winding down, I wanted to squeeze in some last-minute shopping. I made some returns at Nook and River Island, but left with new goodies from both and tons from H&M. Do you want to see my shopping haul? Let me know in the comment section below. Day 18 is officially done. See you on day 19. It's been a whirlwind of packing, meetings, and satisfying my serious cravings for some Nigerian food. Come along with me to the UK. This is days 19, 20, and 21. The last few days has been super busy. Between working and attending numerous meetings while trying to wrap everything up, it's been non-stop. But through all the busyness, I've had one thing on my mind: moi moi and puff puff. I ordered from Uber Eats and oh my goodness, the food and snacks were amazing. I also had plans to catch up with an acquaintance, but they flaked on me, but it's all good. What's your go-to comfort food when you're missing home? Days 19, 20, and 21 are officially done. See you on day 22. Unfortunately, my time in the UK is almost coming to an end. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 22. I made the most of my last day by balancing errands with a bit of exploration. The day started with some last-minute returns and, of course, a bit of more shopping. I visited 2 different shopping centers before heading over to Borough Market, a food lover's paradise. To wrap up the day, I booked an Airbnb experience for a walking tour where I learned all about the shitty history, literally, of Sadak.
And hopefully you're not eating it yourself either, so you're not losing anything by feeding it to the pigs. And the pigs can eat it, they can get a lot of nutrition out of it.
It was so much fun and was also very informative that I'll rate it a solid 5 out of 5. What's one thing you would never skip on a trip to London? Day 22 is officially done. See you on day 23. It's officially my last day in the UK. Come along with me to the UK. This is day 23. Today was all about final goodbyes and heading home. After my last round of packing, I hopped in an Uber, dealt with a train cancellation, and eventually checked in for my flight. The walk to the boarding gate felt like a mini workout, but I was boarded quickly and soon we were off. Since I had finished reading the book I brought for the trip and wasn't in the mood for ebooks, I ended up passing the time with movies. After 7 hours and 43 minutes, we landed in Canada. There's truly no place like home, and when I saw the PR and passport holder sign at the airport, it really hit me. I was back home. Day 23 is officially done, and that wraps up our UK vlog. Thanks for following along.